Howdy ho, good neighbors. What's going on? Happy Tuesday, the 28th. Hope everybody's start to the new year has been going well for this first month. We're almost wrapped up with January, going into February. It is moving fast, just like my hairline. Anyway, so tonight I am quote unquote out of retirement, so to speak, because we are going to do a live launch party for a really good independent book for a really good creator who despite his tough Italian accent, we're going to listen to what he has to say. So anyway, let's get right to it. Tonight's creator, publisher, writer, artist of Cold Kutter, Charles W. Morgan.
Hello, Phil. How's it going out there?
Good. What's going on, you Italian man, you?
Yeah, so I'm not quite Italian, but I'm a little south. I'm a little south of the Mason-Dixon line, so I'll try to speak where you can understand me.
So Charles is almost the everything man for this book that we're going to get into today. He also, just real quick, did a commission for me of John Sable Freelance, which if you look in the corner behind him, I'm going to move you up and it's right there in the corner over his right shoulder, but it'll be over your left to the viewer. And it's just like an old Mike Grell style. It's just awesome. I'm excited to get it. So if you like art and you want commissions, there are going to be a few of those things on this campaign that we're going to talk about today. Nice segue. Anyway, all right. So Charles, tell us a brief bit about yourself, and then we're going to launch the campaign, and we're going to talk about Cold Kutter.
Sure, yeah. So I'm Charles Morgan. I'm the creator, writer, artist of Cold Kutter, the miniseries. It's a 5-issue miniseries, and right now we're going to launch number 4, and it's a very critical story in this series because it's the linchpin between issue 1 and 2 and issue 5. So we're going to find out in this issue. We're going to see the detective capabilities of Dylan. We're going to find out just what kind of investigator his brother Dalton was, which you know by now probably that his brother Dalton was his partner. But in issue 1, the first page of issue 1, he was murdered by them, by drug syndicate kingpins. So he's up against a crime syndicate that's really, really tough. And this issue here actually gets us into the investigation, the detective work, because this is a detective comic. And
it's a nice classic noir genre, and there's a delay.
Yeah, so,
wonderful.
Is there a delay going on? Yeah, so I can just talk, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's on your end because my site's good.
Okay. Well, like I said, in this issue, we see a flashback sequence of Dalton and Dylan working a case in the past. Of course, his brother Dalton's been murdered, but we see a flashback sequence. We kind of see that as good as Dylan is, Dalton was probably better. That was his forte, was the ability to investigate, crack a case with very little to no evidence. I mean, he was just unreal. He could see and read between the lines. So this is the kind of thing that kind of excites me. I really want to get this into your hands, and I hope you'll come back and you'll pledge on this book because we've really worked hard. I put my best work into this issue, and it's just I'm hoping you guys will enjoy it and come on back and help us out with it.
Yeah, and your art style absolutely fits the genre. I mean, you have a good classic gritty style that I really enjoy. Your inking is just, it was always good, but it's just you've been leveling up as each issue goes on, and it's just great to watch your progression and your panel work and your camera angles and everything you're doing. Because for those who don't know, Charles created the characters, he writes the story, but he also does all of the interior pencils and inks on the book, and it's a black and white book because it's noir.
Right.
So
right.
other than letters by Jason Meadows, you're this is all you, man, all you.
Yeah, so I've really worked hard on the book. I try to bring the books out, within a 6 month time span because I don't want to have you waiting a whole year on each issue just to find out what happens. So I'm trying to pick up the next one. I've already finished writing the script for number 5, so I'll start doing storyboards on 5. But as far as 4, yes, the artwork. I mean, I read somewhere by the time you do like 170 pages of comic art and you've sort of mastered what you need to do. I'm not quite there yet. I'm probably on 125. But I do feel like I have progressed as each issue has gone by, and I really appreciate you commenting that, doing a compliment on that. But I've always enjoyed, the kind of the dark, gritty comic art that was in, like your Detective Comics and, of course, the Dark Knight, Rip Kirby, some of the classic crime noir comic strips and that sort of thing. It's always been something that I've enjoyed. So the chance to do a crime noir type of comic in a modern day setting with modern vehicles, even though I do have a classic muscle car, there's also a very modern day other types of vehicles in play, which kind of, it promotes the imagery of the type of genre this is. And that's our Kickstarter page, and I guess Phil's going to roll with it. Can you hear me? Maybe no one's hearing me.
No, we can hear you. It was me. Something happened with StreamYard, shut my mic off.
Okay.
So my only bone to pick with you, Sir Charles of the Morgans, is you did what they always do in movies and these kind of stories. You destroyed the muscle car, the beautiful muscle car. What are you doing?
Yeah. It really hurt me bad to have to destroy that beautiful 1969 Chevelle, but it happened. It happened last issue. So in this issue, you got to pick it up to see what new muscle car he's riding around in.
Nice. So I'm going to play the trailer, and once it's over, feel free to give credits to whoever's participating in the trailer, and then we will launch live. Or do you want to launch? Let's launch live first. Let's launch, and then we'll do the trailer. How's that sound?
Okay, just give me a second here to try to pull this off.
So for all of you that aren't aware of Cold Kutter, maybe it's new to you, this campaign will have the first 3 issues available as well as the new 4th one, so you can get the entire series up to date if you're interested. And then when 5 comes out, you're all set to get that. It's fun. It's action-packed. It's like I said, it's classic noir, detective, the guy talking to himself kind of thing. So that's because Charles is always talking to himself. He never argues with himself, at least, and he always agrees. So, we
just launched live, Phil.
Let me refresh.
If I can find you. Ugh. I hear you.
There we go. We are live. So the pledge goal is 600, and it's a shorter campaign with 20 days to go. So check that bad boy out, that column, because Kickstarter does a lot of stuff. Hello. Yeah, okay. Let's play the trailer. It's a shorter campaign, so there's 20 days to go. $600 is the goal.
Yeah, it's shorter this time.
Yeah, Kickstarter just keeps popping that up. Oh, well. All right, we're going to put this. Let me know if you don't hear it, okay?
Okay.
Times are tough. Kutter is going in the red. Going in the red means I'm getting evicted unless something changes.
Voiceover by Rafael Tavares Jr.
Yeah, Raphael. It was a little herky jerky on my end, but I hope everybody heard it and saw it.
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you fine.
I don't know what's going on. I swear to God, I'm hard lined in, and it's all.
But yeah, Raphael was
So
the
cool. All right.
And I think there's a delay, but Raphael did the voice on that. Just beautiful work. He always does.
Go ahead,
great.
Charles. Yeah. Let's take a look. So 4-Speed Studios, you got a nice upgraded logo. Very cool.
Rob Powers did that.
Here's the story. Here's the story so far, so you guys can read up on that to see. And we got some cool covers. Charles does most of the covers, but this is Alex Ogle.
Right. He did the drawing, illustration, and colors on that. Just a great artist. I penciled this page, and Joe Rubenstein did the inks on it, and Elena Vargas colored it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
As you guys don't know, Joe Rubenstein, is unless you don't know, it's because is a legend in the industry. He's the one who inked all of the Marvel Universe Handbook stuff. He inked the Frank Miller, Chris Claremont, Wolverine limited series. Some would argue that most of that art is his because Frank put in some really rough pencils.
Very
Angel,
yeah. Right.
At least you know it.
Yeah, so it's a real good thing to have somebody like Joe on our project to help us out with those beautiful covers and inks that he does. And this cover is by Francesco Tomaselli. He does work for Spawn, Todd McFarlane, different companies.
DC, yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of compliments on this cover. This is one by me.
Yeah, well, just look at the faces. Great job.
Yeah, so that's Wimpy in there, and we got all their characters in there. We got Dylan, of course, and Triff there in a shootout. And we got the bad guys there in the little projection there. And then we got the modern day car, the crime noir car
Cadillac
of the crooks. And just beautiful colors by Elena. She turned those headlights on really good in that car right there.
Nice.
Yeah, turned out nice. And this cover's by me also, pencils, inks. Elena Vargas did colors on all my covers that I did. So she's really good.
And look at the mood. Yeah, look at the mood setting on these pages. Awesome.
Thank you. I really try to do my best work ever on this issue just because that's what I'm going to do every time. I'm going to try to do the best work possible.
And letters by Jason Meadows.
Yep, Jason Meadows.
The Mustang.
It's a 69 Camaro.
Oh, it's a Camaro. It's a Camaro. Yeah. Oh, geez. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I think Dylan's a Chevy guy. Sorry. I may have him in a Mustang before it's over.
Just to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're introducing some characters here. We got Wimpy there. He's talking to Wimpy, who's actually an informant. He's actually had criminal activity, but he cut a deal to be an informant. So he's actually helps Dylan quite a lot. If you remember way back in issue number 1, when Triff is kidnapped out to the Liberty Island, he had to take a boat to the rescue to rescue her. That was Wimpy's boat, and Wimpy allowed him to take it. So Wimpy plays a key role in this book because he's always helping him. He's always informing him, hey, there's some drugs or something. A drug shipment's going to leave up here within the next 24 hours. You need to be looking out for it. He's helping him with all kinds of clues.
And that comb over is awesome.
Yeah.
He'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a haircut today.
There you go.
So what do we got? We got a sketch cover.
Right.
We've got the covers available. Pick any 3 of the 5. You can get the Rubenstein inked cover autographed by
That's
Rubenstein.
Right. That's right. Hmm.
You can get the catch-up tier to get all 4 issues. If you're late to the game, now you can catch up. All in 4 Speed Studios. This is all the covers to all the 4 issues. So you can get every cover that's been put out on Kickstarter since its inception.
Right. Every one of them.
Then here's a sketch cover where you can get a commission from Charles himself. As you saw, his art is awesome. He did, behind him again is a John Sable freelance. Mike Grell created John Sable freelance, and he did. Charles did a commission for me of him. It looks fantastic. So you could get something really nice on this cover. That'd be awesome.
Dylan on it. Yeah.
Get Dylan back to back with your favorite character. How's that sound? Right?
Yeah. There you go.
And then all 5 covers for Cold Kutter number 4, if you want to get all 5. Some people are completionists, and they got to get it all.
Yeah.
And then we have original art tiers by Charles. That's Art A, Art B, Art C. Triff went all Storm with her haircut. Look at that.
Yeah, so she kind of changed her look there in issue number 2. Yep.
Then you got add-ons. There's a sticker pack. If you want a sticker, you get this pack of 4. Black and white noir comic size print of the cover, which I always think is cool because, if you get this cover and you like the color, you get the black and white comic print and you can frame them symmetrically side by side. If you like the art process, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Again, this one.
Right. That's the ink spot. Really super crisp.
And then you can get a remark on any cover that you want. There's an example of a remark that you can, an example of a cover, and you can get a remark on this cover drawn by Charles himself.
Right.
We got some stretch goals. There's a bookmark if we hit the goal of 600, and then if we hit 1,500, there's another comic size print of the Francesco Tomaselli cover. And if we go beyond that, then you'll be creating some other stretch goals.
Mm-hmm. We will.
Look at that face. Only a mother can love. Look at that. Oh, so cute.
That's me, unfortunately.
There's Joe looking like a model, airbrushed and everything. Look at him. Not a wrinkle on his face.
Right. Yep.
There's the Vulture, or should I say Jason Meadows.
Right. Letterer.
And then there's Alina, the colorist.
Right. She's very good. Very good. She does my
there
covers.
You go. So I encourage you all to back this project and support. It's a short campaign with only 20 days. If you can't back at the moment, hit back this project. Hit remind me, and it will it'll send you an email with 48 hours to go and then 24 hours to go. But Charles works hard at these books, and he's passionate about them, and they're solid stories with solid art. So I highly recommend you pledge and support.
Yes, please do. We'd love to get this one out into your hands, and also get number 5. And this helps us do that because it costs to get this done, and it's a lot of work. I'm passionate about it. I hope that you'll enjoy it and just come out and pick up your copy.
And if for whatever reason it is not your thing, but you have a friend that's into it, please share it out. Tell your friends about it. Get them to sign up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll pull this off for a minute. Charles, tell us a little about yourself and where you came up with the concept and everything.
Okay, yeah. So I always wanted to do a comic book series, and I had about 25 years ago, I was coming up with a crime noir type of book, not really a book. Let's say it's drawings and sketches and shadows and light and characters jumping over roofs and diving over AC units on roofs, chasing each other, things like that. Just imagery.
You're breaking up.
I'm sorry. Is this any better? Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, now you're better. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I come up with the idea for the comic book a long time ago, about 20 years ago. Then I visited New York City, and it just kind of dawned on me, hey man, this is a story that I could actually do, because it just kind of inspired me to do the story. So once I went there, I was like, I got to do this comic. So I started writing it, and once I started writing the story, then I worked on my art. Joe Rubenstein's very instrumental in getting my art up to speed. And so we were able to do the first issue after about a year. And hopefully, of course, number 2 came about 6 months after that. So about 6 to 8 months, I released these things. But the concept of the characters and the name of Triff is actually named after my wife. Her name's Trifana. So I said, that's really a cool name. I'd like to use that. So she's like, yeah, if you want to, you can. So, and if you're hearing a woman screaming in the background, that's my wife. She's watching a basketball game. She's a big time basketball fan. So there's nobody being harmed during the making of this show. So, but yeah, the whole
either that or his books.
Yeah, you're kind of
either that or your books are a little closer to real life than we.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been too. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so maybe my Wi-Fi is not the best in the world, possibly, but hopefully you can hear what I'm saying about the concept and how I created the book. And we're going to continue with it. We're going to continue to do this book, number 5. I hope it will meet the funding goal. We really need to hit it.
Let's go back to the page. This has been slow. What is going on? There we go.
It's acting slowly, isn't it?
Sweet. Yeah, of course it is. Charles has been fine, so it must be me then. I don't understand. I'm hardwired. I'm on a cable. I'm not even on Wi-Fi. I don't know why that's happening.
It's working fine right now.
Well, he's saying you've been fine, which is good because then they heard you. It's more important to hear you than me.
Okay. Yeah. So the book was basically an inspiration that has existed in my head for 25 years. And I finally, said, I'm just going to make this book. I'm going to create characters. I'm going to create a plot. Then I'm going to work from a plot and do a script. And I just did them one issue at a time once I had the plot all worked out. And, I changed a few things as I went along, because it's kind of like you think, well, this is going to be the details of how I work this out. But then when you start getting into the details of the story, especially with like doing storyboards, comic art, you may want to be a little more. You may want to change the way things look on a page. You may want more action or something like that. So I do change a little bit from the storyboards when I'm doing the actual pages. Just whatever works best. I try to work out the best way. So.
And who's Eric? Your brother?
That's my brother. My brother Eric is chiming in, and his black belt defense. Yeah, Eric, how's it going? Hope you're doing good tonight. Thank you.
Very cool. So you do have some nice covers. You work with some great talent. I mean, you have prior covers from guys like Larry Stroman, Kenny Calderon.
Yeah. Those are really good artists, man. They're great artists, and that Larry Stroman cover he really knocked that out of the park. And of course, Kenny's cover is one of the favorites at the shows. It sells very well. I mean, they go straight to it a lot.
That's good.
And,
something about this page I really like.
Yeah. I think that's one of my strongest pages. It sets the mood. It's gritty.
Yeah,
It's what I
I think
like.
that's what I like about it. The mood it sets.
It's raining like crazy, you know, and he's coming down the street and he's getting ready to go into the office, and he's reaching into his pocket and he pulls out this clue. I call it a clue because it is. It's a piece of evidence that he found at the Statue of Liberty in issue 1 when he rescued Triff. He's been carrying this thing in his pocket in issue 2 and issue 3. Finally, it surfaces. He reaches into his pocket and goes, "What's this? You know, have you ever done that? It's like you got this coat, you hang it up, and you wear it every now and then. You pull it out, and there's something in your pocket from 6 months ago, whatever." So he finds this thing. And he's
I
like,
just
"What is
find
it?"
lint.
You know?
I
So he
just
picked
find
it.
lint.
I'm sorry.
I just find lint.
Lint, yes, pocket lint. That's true too. So yeah, so he finds this medallion necklace, and he's looking at it. He's going, "This looks really familiar. I've seen this before. I've seen this particular design before," but he just can't quite place it. So by the end of issue number 4, this is going to be a major clue into cracking the case of who's involved and who's behind the drug syndicate. So it is a major, major thing. We're going to see some detective work in this book. We're going to see some action in the first 8 pages. We're going to see some real detective work where they actually, you know, investigate. Then they're removed from the investigation by the chief of police because he's supposedly interfering. There's a lot of conflicts in this book, in this chapter, that really sets us up for number 5.
But who's the better detective, Batman or Cold Cutter?
I believe Cold Cutter is truly the best because he doesn't have all the computers to rely on and all the gadgetry and things like that. So I
So you're
vote for
saying Batman cheats?
Yeah, so it's just him and Treff now. He doesn't have Dalton. You got to remember, Dalton was his chief investigator at
Right.
Cutter LLC. So now he's gone. He's passed away. So he can't really rely on Dalton. So he's got to do something he's not really been used to doing, and that's working alone. I say alone. I mean, Triff has convinced him that she's tough and she can hang in there with him. You know, she went through a traumatic rescue at the Liberty Island, the Statue of Liberty, in issue number 1, issue number 2, and by going through that traumatic experience, she had to reach deep inside herself and say, you know, I can't let this get to me. I've got to do something. So she changes her appearance. She comes out with a mohawk. We just see you know, we see some martial arts training that she's had, and she's using it in issue number 2. It's just a real surprise. It's like there's a change in the character there, you know. So it's a pretty interesting thing to see. It's just, you know, to see somebody go through something like that and then, you know, rise above it the way she has.
So as a writer, are you drawing? When I say drawing, I mean like pulling in any of the character aspects or characteristics from people you know, family, friends, yourself, your wife.
Really, I'm not really. It's if I am, it's subconsciously. I'm not doing anything, you know, to say this is really me or this is really my wife or this is a friend or something like that. I know a lot of people, so there's a lot of names that I know multiples of people with the same name. So I can't say that I really borrowed anybody's name except for my wife. There's only 6 people in the United States named Trafana. So that's a very rare thing.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. So I've never met any of them. And it's like an Italian name. So it's just
Yeah.
a name you don't hear. So, but yeah.
You like your Italian accent, right?
Yeah. My Italian accent, it all goes back to that. Yeah. So I really tried really hard to give you that crime noir look here on this page with that cigarette and the way you do the cross hatching in the background
Yeah.
with a little bit of smoke coming up, and you know the shadows and light with Dylan's hat, shadows in his eyes. You know his eyes are there, but you don't see them.
Yeah, I like when you do the shadowing like that. It just adds to what the genre is, you know. A lot of deep blacks, a lot of shadowing, the
Yeah,
just the whole kind of darker, you know, like Blade Runner. You know, you ever see Blade Runner?
yeah, yeah. I love that too. Yeah, I think that movies like that, and of course, Mike Hammer TV show, things like that, really, influences me in this way.
Very cool. But all right, so this is going on for 20. It says 20 days to go, but it just launched, so it's a 21-day campaign, and
Right.
the goal is 600. Hey, speaking of Kenny, what's going on, Kenny?
What's going on? What's going on? How's it going? How's it going? Thank you, Kenny. All my inks are done on traditional paper with crow quills and brush.
But you're not selling any original pages, right?
I'm not selling the original pages, at least at this time.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Those are your babies.
Yeah, I'm trying to hang on to those.
Well, guys, come on out and pledge support. You won't be disappointed. I mean, the book itself is only $12, but if you miss the other issues, there's a good tier that is not expensive. I'll show you. We'll scroll down. The catch-up tier right here, which is, what is it going for? Okay, it goes in order of the price, not the cover. So
Yeah.
that's why I got to look for it.
Yeah.
Now, just for the record, you could get the digital pack if you want as well, which is even cheaper. If you want the books digitally, I personally like physical copies in my hand. But the catch-up is only $45. I mean, it's not bad at all. You know, 4 issues.
Right.
So, a purist. Charles is a man of culture.
Well, guys, Kenny Calderon is my cover artist on issue number 1. He knocked it out of the park on cover A. So if you go back and do the catch up, he is
right there
in that package right there. Yeah, the blue cover. Yeah.
Sweet.
Of course, you'll actually get the cover that has the trade press on it. That one, for some reason.
Yeah, I was wondering why. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
the
wondering
version.
that too.
Yeah.
Very cool. And here you see the black and white version that Kenny did. It's small, but you can see it there. And then the color. So if you get the all-in 4-speed, you'll get both versions of Kenny's covers. You'll get all of Charles' covers. You'll get all the ones inked by Joe Rubenstein and Mark. You had one done by Mark, right?
Mark McKenna did one.
Yeah. Very cool. Another famous inker.
Right. Yeah. He's a legendary inker as well.
Very cool. Again, guys, these aren't expensive, but you are helping Charles' dream come true and get this book printed. It's all ready to go. It just needs to be printed, which will obviously be determined by the backers and everything. And if you like original art, we got some nice original art on the campaign again. So if you like that gritty style, that Mike Grell kind of, style, I call it a Mike Grell style. I mean, Charles has his own style, but it's in that genre to me, which I love. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
Mike Grell always said he did a knockoff of Neil Adams. So,
Now, I could see where he probably started that way, but he started to evolve into his own thing a bit.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely his own. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely a nice guy.
Very nice.
So there's a little something for everybody here, guys. Or if you just want the sketch cover, I always tell artists too, get sketch covers from these indie books because you get them for the cheaper price. Then you do a commission on them, turn around and make a profit. You got to read the story and then you got to sell it and make money off of it. So everybody's happy. It's just a thought. And Wimpy needs you for his comb over.
Yeah. Yeah, there they are in the Camaro.
And you're a muscle car guy yourself, right?
I am. I have a 69 Chevelle that I've owned for about 25, 30 years. At least that long.
My sister my sister in law's father had an old Chevelle. I'm not sure what year. I think it was like a '72 or '71 or something.
Yeah.
I owned the sister car. I owned the 1972 Skylark, which was the sister car to the Chevelle.
Right.
I mean, that was a cast iron car, but it was a double barrel carburetor.
Yeah.
It was a beast. And my brother
Yeah.
drove it into the ground. He cracked the block on it. Don't even get me
Sorry to hear
started.
that. Yeah.
Never,
Yeah. Stuff like that
never
happens.
got, yeah, and he never replaced that car for me. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I wish he told me that they were selling that Chevelle my sister-in-law's father had, because it
Right.
stayed preserved nicely in a garage. But oh well. To tell you the truth, I don't deserve a muscle car because I probably would be out there cleaning it as often as I should and this and that. The one thing I never understood, though, is these guys get these beautiful muscle cars and they're smoking in them. It's like you're destroying the interior, man.
Yeah. I don't smoke, so I don't have to worry about that, but I sure wouldn't smoke in it if I did. So
Right.
yeah, I take care of my car. I kind of baby it, I don't get to take it out as much as I need to, but much as I can, I do. So Eric's wanting to know what color the Camaro is. It's white. It's a white Camaro. It's trying to remember the actual color. I can't remember if it's glacier white. I guess it's glacier white. If you want to be technical.
Very cool. But you guys come out and support. It's a really good crime action noir story. The artwork is solid, especially if you like that classic feel. I do. I mean, I'm old, but I think I would appreciate this no matter what generation. Because even when I was a kid, I liked stuff from my parents' generation. So, which I think is the thing that's different with today's generation is they don't really know anything from our generation. Where I had one leg in my parents' generation and one leg in mine. We appreciated what was before us, what we were dealing with now, and what was coming in the future. Whereas I think today's generation is just stuck in what's right now. But give it a try. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it. Even if you want to sample number one, just sample number one. And if you enjoy it, you come back for number 5 and get the whole series. But support indie creators. They work really hard. We don't have the audience that the big names have, granted. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some of these big names that charge a ridiculous money for artwork that is just not there. So why not get some quality artwork from somebody, even if they don't have a big name? Support.
Yeah, thank you. Well said. We strive to do the job to bring a quality product, and being a smaller creator where you don't have the audience, it requires these Kickstarter campaigns to help us keep it going. So hopefully, we can continue the series. We'll bring out number 5, and that's going to be what I call the slam banger. It's going to really bring everything to a shocking conclusion, a very shocking conclusion. So,
And will there be other series after this?
There's going to be other miniseries after this with Cold Kutter. So we don't know what version that's going to look like. We don't know who's going to survive this series. So I mean, if it's the same characters or some of the same characters, that's kind of a secret right now. But I really want to stress that more miniseries are in the pipeline. So we're not going to end their stories. I want to do a 5-issue complete story where you can say, okay, this is a mega story from start to finish. It's not a 12-issue maxi series, but it's a 5-issue mini series. But I think you'll really enjoy it if you just give it a chance. Just give it a try. You can always get the digital copies. They're much cheaper. So if that's what you would like to do, just to read it and have it on your digital devices and things like that, and that's the way to go. But if you want something to hold in your hand and say, hey, if this thing ever went big, I've got one of the first copies that was Kickstarted, and,
Absolutely.
and this may end up being a Kickstarter exclusive book if it ever does go big. So you won't.
Hindsight can be a real nasty thing. So yeah, for a
Yeah.
small investment, guys, you can get on board.
So if it ends up going big, then this could be an exclusive book that could be a real rarity, because these print runs, I'm telling you, they're small. They're small print runs.
Yep, which just makes it more valuable.
Yeah. So if
So
you can, just come on out and pledge for us and give us a little help. And I appreciate that, and I know everybody that's helping me on this campaign does, because that's how we give them work. We keep them working.
Charles, I'm gonna give you the mic. Give us the pitch why we want this book, why we need this book, and why we're going to get this book.
Sure. So I want to give you this book because I'm excited to get this issue, this story, this chapter of this story into your hands. This is the linchpin. This is number 4. This is the one that links number 1, issue 2, and issue 5 together. There's a climactic thing that happens in this book. It's about detective work. We see a major piece of evidence, a major clue that leads to who is behind the drug syndicate, which has been a pretty big mystery all throughout so far in the first 3 books. We see some of the characters. We kind of get to know some of them. So we get to see a flashback sequence of who Dalton was. We never really get to see that until issue 4, to see that he was actually a better, I wouldn't say better, but it was his expertise in the area of detective work, investigations. Now he's having to rely on himself, and he doesn't feel at ease, especially since they've been under attack for 3 straight issues, 3 straight months. And finally, there's a little bit of a spot where they can say, hey, we got to start attacking this. But there's a twist. All of a sudden, they're removed from the case. They're not allowed to investigate. But yet, they do anyway. And you'll see how that goes if you pick this book up. So please,
Very cool.
Pledge on the book. Get your copy, because you won't be disappointed. I promise you.
Very cool. And Charles has 15 illegitimate kids to feed, so he needs your money.
Well, not quite that many kids. I do have one. Yeah.
Charles,
thank you.
Yeah, I wish you the best of luck with this and continued success. Are you going to be at any shows? I know you just had one last Sunday that was very successful for you. Any shows coming up?
Yeah, so the next show is not on the docket yet because I didn't know what I'll be doing in 2025. Things were looking like they were going to go a certain way. So I kind of held off on doing shows just because I'm busy, like super busy with this book, trying to get number 5 out really quickly. So I didn't really know what shows I might want to do. So I'll probably be trying to book a show here in the next few weeks for sometime in the summer, towards the fall. I may do another one in the fall. So I'm probably going to try to do 2, So as soon as I know that, it'll go on my social media, Facebook, Instagram. I'll let everybody know.
Very cool. Charles, appreciate you, man. You're one of the good guys. It's a great book, great art. You just keep leveling up. I'm happy for you. I wish you success. This will fund. You will get your book out there. And good things are coming for you, my friend, this year. So just keep that chin up, stay strong, and keep plugging away because it's a grind for the next 3 weeks.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. We'll be keeping tabs on it, and I'll be posting and promoting it. And hopefully, we'll get a bunch of folks to come out and like they've done the last 3 times, and help us get to our goal. And there's always extra things that we get to once we hit certain goals. So we'll have stretch goals too. So you'll end up with some free stuff. So if we can just hit our fun goal and then hit the stretch goals, we're going to have some cool things.
Absolutely. Cool art. And remember, guys, Yeah, even if the story's not your thing, share it out to a friend that may be interested, or if you like art, you can get commissions on this campaign. You can get a sketch cover commission, remarks, and you could buy the original art that Charles put up on the campaign. So there's something for everybody here, and so go check it out. Give it a shot. All right,
Absolutely.
Charles, my friend, it's always a pleasure. If you want to hang backstage for a minute, I'm just gonna say see you to everybody, and
Okay.
yeah, let's go, man. This is it.
Thank you so much.
Starting of a good 3 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, see you in a minute. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right. All right, everybody. I just want to remind you, indie creators work very hard, and they work with passion. So if you're a lover of comics, if you're a lover of this genre, noir, crime, etc., or a lover of art, good storytelling, then indie is the way to go, because it's done as a passion play. To quote Pete Vasquez about my old conventions, he goes, "It wasn't a cash grab, it's a passion play." And Pete was right. So check it out. You won't be disappointed, and you'll be supporting the dreams of a hardworking indie creator, as well as him being able to afford to hire other people, artists, editors, trade dressers, and book formatters, and colorists, and what do you call it? Logo designers. So go check it out. Please, let's get them to 600 sooner than later. Don't make them sweat. And we appreciate you coming out. Lastly, I'm just going to let you know, Filbo Publishing Omnibus. Just going to show you real quick. The page is just about done. I just have to do the trailer. Should be coming tonight, actually. Why is this? So if you've been following Filbo Publishing and you've been curious, but you never pulled the plug, or it just felt overwhelming because it had so much stuff, I put it all in one hardcover, 400 plus page omnibus. You get Tragedies 1 through 6, Dynamics 1. You get Arcane Syndicate #1, which, by the way, the last pages were turned in today, so it's at the colorist. We should be ready to rock and roll with that very soon, next couple of weeks. And then the 5 horror stories from Diary of Dread. So this is a cover by Mike Ms. Phillips. You can sign up right now. That's the back cover by Jay Sloan. Just some of the characters. Little write-up, and it shows the different issues that are in here, or the different stories. And it's 400 plus pages of story. No filler, just 400 pages of story. 418, I believe. Here are some samples of what you're going to see. Family story, action adventure, family superhero. A lot of different genres in here, guys. And as you can see, the art is top notch. And I'm really proud of this. And again, we also are going our second printing of the sequential art edition. If you missed out on the first one, we sold out. You can get t-shirts off of this, and t-shirts look great. We have a few in the house. And this blanket, which we have one. It's a really nice blanket. It's a very soft, comfortable blanket of all the covers of Filbo Publishing. And Tragedy shot glasses. And then we got stretch goals. And look at that. Look what's going to be in that bundle. Cold Kutter #1. PDF. But you can get the PDF right now on this campaign. Then we got some stuff to unlock, digital art, etc. And then hopefully we'll get Papa launched and Shaman launched soon enough. So sign up for that right now. If you haven't, please go ahead and sign up and you'll be notified. We don't have a launch date yet. We're waiting for Arcane Syndicate to finish before we did that. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Also, just remember, distribution's coming this year by Filbo. If you want to Let your comic stores know, your local comic shops, that I'm coming with Filbo Distribution. Tragedy will be monthly, and we will be distributing some other indie publishers. If you're interested in having your book shopped to all the stores in North America, that is Canada and the United States, DM me and we will talk. I'm already onboarding quite a few publishers as we speak. And I, of course, through Filbo Publishing, have a lot of great campaigns from other creators on my Filbo Publishing Kickstarter page. Madcaps is coming in April, which is the continuation of the Dungeons & Dragons tale by DM Ray. Prior to that, in March, is Supergroup by James Aloysius Santana and Hunter Lirup. It's a really good sidekick kind of therapy group book, which is really good. Again, letters by Jason Meadows. Then we've got Night Number 7 from Guido Martinez. We got a lot of stuff. Filbo is cranking out stuff and working hard, and we're putting out solid material for those who love comics for the sake of comics and good storytelling and solid art. And we hope you jump on board. All right. Remember, Cold Kutter is live right now, issue 4. Whoops. Sorry. Cold Kutter is live right now, issue 4. Why is this slow? And Charles is a great dude. You'd be supporting a great individual, and you'd be supporting a great project, and it's worth having. It really is. All right? It just launched, and we would love to see your support. So please back and support 4Speed Studios. Charles W. Morgan, go check him out. Follow his Facebook page, his Instagram, and show him some love. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with what I always leave you with. Be legendary and have fun storming the castle.